Hi everyone and welcome to this week's Index Meets. I'm really excited to have with us Zahir Abdul Latheef, founder at D2, an interior design consultancy firm in Oman. Zahir comes from a hybrid background in architecture, engineering and design. He has designed and overseen over 100 retail F&B, residential and office projects. That's not all. Zahir is an award winner. He was awarded the Best Interior Designer of the Year 2019 by Dozier Construction Magazine, and we are here today to get to know him a little bit better. Thank you so much for spending this time with us today, Zahir.
Thank you for having me, Roshan.
Great. So let's get started. So Zahir, tell us, what does interior design mean to you? Why did you get into this industry?
So how I got into the industry, it's a very long story. To summarize it, I come from an engineering and architecture background. So interior design was initially something that I looked down because I thought it was like everybody thinks when they don't know, it's just a few gypsum finishes and some furniture from the stores. And then I got to work on some interior projects while I was doing my my job as a civil construction manager in one of the companies, and so that got me attracted into the detailing and the beauty of designing things, and so eventually started the company in 2015. So it's not a very direct story as far as an interior designer's career is concerned. There's a lot of twists and turns. So for all of these, the foundation was I loved drawings from the very beginning, and I loved the thing basically to draw. So I came across some projects which had incredibly detailed drawings, and I was taken I felt it so amazing, and then I pursued on it. And then all that traced back to my school days, which I had an interest in art. So I would normally skip my math classes for art classes, and it paid off. So it's sort of a very long story.
Interesting twists and turns.
Yeah.
Awesome, great. The next one that I have for you is, what is the most motivational thing you've ever heard of?
There are things that affected you, like it influenced you in the long term. And in my career, I would put there was this thing I heard from some interview. I'm not sure where and when. They said a lot of great musicians like A.R. Rahman, they play all the instruments as a master of it. So not just playing with it, but they master a lot of different instruments. So, and then that seemed very. I took it to heart. I thought, if that's the way, then as a designer, I should be knowing all my instruments, all the softwares and tools and things. So I pursued on learning new software, because hand drawing, everything is fine, but ultimately it comes to software to do any projects. Right. So I went and learned, also trained our team to not just stick to AutoCAD or something, but to learn other softwares on 3D, on lighting, or even any other detailing softwares that can be done. So, so that really influenced me. That helped our business, actually. So we could get things done faster and more efficient with a lot more consistency. And we clubbed together different applications, even for the same project. So we also had a bit of different people contributing to that same file from different applications. So it was like the most influential or most beneficial or inspirational thing I heard, and then I applied it and it worked.
Interesting story. Great. That brings me on to the next question. Zahir, what has been your most interesting project till date and why?
Undoubtedly, I would put Foodlands. It's a 600 square meter restaurant. We designed in the last 2019, end of 2019. And that, since it's on two levels, it's like a duplex, and we had an amazing client who gave us all the freedom um, to work on what we like. So in the initial meeting, they brought about some ideas into the table. Then I reviewed it, and then we had the second meeting. I said, I have some better proposals. If you would allow me, then I would make it and present to you. He said, okay, it's yours, go ahead. And then he went to the extent of doubling his budget for the project when it was designed, and he was also supportive. So a lot of good projects begins with a good client and with their ideas and things. So that project, we almost experimented everything. That was like a compilation of all the projects that we'd so far. So we had every element put into it, not to be different, but it was very homogeneous, and there was a synergy in all of those things. So it was all our expertise put together in one project. So I would rate Foodlands as one of the best projects that I did.
Brilliant, brilliant. Love it. Great. Moving on to some fun questions now for you, Zahir.
Yeah.
What is your guilty pleasure?
I love gaming. So my wife is totally against it, but because when I do it, I go on continuous hours on it. So I love games such as Age of Empires. It's a strategic game, so
Right.
I've been playing ever since I was a child. So they have new versions, improvised versions. I also have attachment to it in terms of they've thoroughly researched and developed in different civilizations. So I'm building from different civilization into that game. So obviously it's a zoom out level. When you zoom in, and if you just try to focus on different buildings and even costumes and armor of different characters, it's incredible. I don't think there's a lot of games that can match that level of understanding of different cultures and civilizations in terms of military and civil buildings or civil dresses or anything, military armors and swords and weaponry, all of it. So that's like that was the best I played, and I still play it.
Brilliant, brilliant. Moving on to the next fun question. What is
Sure.
that one music track that's on repeat for you right now?
Not much of a music person, but I love kind of those very soulful music. So there's this movie I saw some 10 years back. It's a Farsi movie called Baba Aziz, and they have a huge set of tracks and songs that is played along the movie. And for me, it has outlived all other playlists in my collection. So I would recommend it's by a composer, Armand Amar,
Mhm.
and it is the best. Oh, it still plays.
Wow, I need to check it out. I need to listen to these tracks for
You
sure.
should, you should.
Great.
It takes you to a different level of thinking. It's unbelievable. Like you should try.
I will definitely listen to this. The next one for you is, are you a coffee person or a tea person?
Tea, all what for tea.
Awesome. And
Yeah,
how many cups do you have a day?
two. So my wife, she makes really good tea, and I try myself as well on it. So it's very individualistic. It depends on the person making it. There are no machines involved, so it's a very human thing.
Mhm.
You pour, you boil, and things. So even slight variations in your recipe, the way you do it, when you add milk and when you add the tea powder, it all makes the change. It's you have infinite uh, possibilities of making tea, and I love also. The interesting fact is the world is more moving from coffee to tea.
Hmm.
So from Japan to all the way to Morocco, tea is it's one of the most consumed beverage. So yeah,
Interesting.
and there is a lot of new ideas in the Middle East and in India. So where you have a lot of experimentation on tea.
Great.
Yeah,
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Zahir. It was great
thank you.
talking to you. And
Nice talking to you too. Thank you for having me.
have a nice day. Good speaking with you, Zahir.